Welcome to episode 90 of A Message From. We're your hosts. I'm Edward.
I'm Alyson.
And today we're talking about soups. But first, there's a lot of stuff to go over. I don't know. Do you want to... I have a packing thing that involves like a show and tell.
I don't know what it is. Your life has been like extra thrilling lately or something because you always have like a million announcements and I'm just sitting here like...
I think...
Nothing.
My life is quote unquote extra thrilling recently, only because I now have something major going on in my life, which I only realized there's only three at the time of recording. There's only 3 weekends that I'm going to be in Madrid left. I know, right?
That's not a lot of
things
time.
Are getting busy. Like I made a to-do list that I've shared with like a ton of people being like, add yourself to activities that I will be doing on these days if you want to join. If not, I don't care. But like I've got to start getting organized, which involves packing. Yeah. So I guess we'll start with packing. Do you want to talk about, do you want to help me with packing?
What's going on?
All right. Well, packing is a nightmare, as we can imagine, right? But I have some pants here that I don't know if I want to keep or not. So I need your help.
Okay. Show me the pants.
So here's this is visual, so we're gonna have to explain a bit in the audio. But it's a pair of Zara like comfy pants. They're black with like a white stripe on the bottom.
The white stripe is doing it.
Yeah, no, they're great. Obviously, I'm big and tall, so they come like above my ankles. Okay,
right.
They're like sweatpant material kind of, but I have owned them since 2017, 2018. So they are on their last limbs. Do they deserve to come with me or not?
I already gave you my answer. Keep them.
Yes. Oh,
I like
that. I think you'd say no. Because I can see through the butt. Like
you can see through the butt and you can't see through anywhere else on them?
Let's put it this way. I can see through one of the seams in the butt.
Yes or no? You can see through the butt, but you can't see through anywhere else? Or they all together see through like they've always been that way?
I don't think that they've always been this way. It's like right in the butt crack.
Okay,
like
then
the
get rid of
seam is
them.
coming apart. Yeah, see, okay, all right. I should have led with that. All right, goodbye to that one. All right, pair number 2. There's only 4 pair, so this won't take too long. Pair number 2. Sorry, these also might be a little wrinkly.
Wait, did you just say there's only 4 pairs?
On this chair, yeah.
Okay.
What do you mean? What do you mean, like in general?
I thought this was like a one-off. Like, should I keep these pants? Not let me show you my whole wardrobe.
Oh, if you would have shown my whole wardrobe, I wish I could. I'll have to send you pictures of the amount of like heaps of clothes that are like going goodbye and a heap that is like staying. It's a lot of I don't know how I have so many clothes. And then I realized it's because I spend a lot of money. Anyway, these are from Uniqlo. They're like blue and white striped. They're very nice, also stretchy. But they don't really fit me. They're a little small.
Get rid of them.
Okay, goodbye.
That one was quick fire for me because I also have a pair of blue and white pants from Uniqlo that have been sitting in my closet for ages that I never wear. And I always look at them and I'm like, just get rid of them. But I haven't been able to commit yet.
That energy you just put directly onto me instead of into your own wardrobe.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, I should get rid of them anyway because they're just too small in the waist, These are blue linen pants from Zara that are like very wide. I think I'm going to keep them. They're dark blue.
Keep them. You have a lot of linen pants, but I feel like they're mostly light.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. This is like a maybe. It might hit the goodbye list. All right, these are the last ones. There's another pair of like linen-y type pants. They're a little thicker. They're from Primark. They seem like they've kind of lived out their days. I usually just wear them in summer, but I don't know.
Oh, and they're
why do they look so wide next to my
fitted
head?
at the ankle?
Oh yeah, they are. I mean, I don't know how.
I would need to see these ones on.
Well, unfortunately for you and the listeners and the watchers, I am not going to change live on the pod.
Send a pic
Okay,
later.
we'll put them in the maybe. We'll put them in a maybe. All right, thanks for helping me. Everyone's been receiving many pics of things and being like yes and no because I can't make a decision to save my life.
I have a special request to make of you. I thought of this the other day and I was like...
Do you want something from me?
Yeah, I do. I was like, I know he has limited space, but I'm going to make this request anyway.
So unlimited. So what is
limited,
the request?
not unlimited.
Yes. That.
I need 2 things from you. 1.
2?
They're not that big.
All right.
1, a bottle of Aquarius.
You fucking kidding me?
2.
Those things are huge.
Konos. You can get both of these at the airport. I'll pay the premium.
At the airport?
Well, yeah, they should have Aquarius at the airport.
I could potentially get Aquarius at the airport.
Because you're going to have to carry it on, right?
But do I have to go through security again?
Oh, you have to go through double security?
I think so.
Okay, then you have to put it in your checked bag.
In which case, you want me to buy a 1 liter.
Get the 1 liter, get the 1 liter.
I would love to do this task for you, but there is literally no way I am bringing Aquarius across the ocean.
Not even a small one.
If I can get my hands on a small one in the airport and like not have to deal with that situation, even if it's me buying it on the plane, I will do that.
No, but if you have to go through security again, you can't take it with you.
No, on the second plane.
Right. They wouldn't have it on the second plane. Where's your second flight out of?
Lisbon.
They sell Aquarius in Lisbon?
I don't know. But it's in the peninsula. Lots of things are... I know lots of words in Portuguese now because I've been spending so much time in Spain reading the Portuguese words on the box. But Konos is a potential, although it might just turn into Kono like crumbles, like
How do you not know how to travel with snacks? When I come back from Europe, listen. When I come back from Europe, the bag is full of snacks, and they're all in pristine condition when I arrive home.
Okay, but you're not also traveling with all of your belongings. This is like different. This is like I've got to put in a whole stack of books. I've got to fit 3 cameras. I have to fit a tripod. I need to fit
duty free. Buy the Konos, and they'll give it to you in its own little bag.
Do you think I would? Do you really think there's like? I don't think there's Konos at duty free. Do you think?
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not. All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see what I can do.
We'll see what you can do, and we'll see if I show up at the airport to pick you up if you arrive without Aquarius.
It's so wild to me that you want bacon flavored, like cone shaped.
Wait, Konos are bacon flavored?
Yeah, that's why I was always really the ones here. Yeah, that you ate. Yeah,
I ate bacon flavored. They didn't taste like bacon at all.
That's why I was so confused. I was like, she's really into these and like raves about them all the time. I'm very sure.
And the whole time you didn't tell me that they were bacon.
No, because I thought you saw. I mean, bacon is bacon in Spanish.
I swear they did not say bacon on them.
I'm almost like 99.9% sure. That's why I was always really weirded out by it. I was like, wow, she's really into this. It's like very random.
They're so good and they don't taste like bacon at all.
They kind of do. But it's not like heavy.
I didn't get any hint of bacon at all. The only time I've ever
because you forget what it tastes like.
The only time I've ever had anything bacon flavored, it's been so intense that I'm like, this is disgusting. And that was even when I still ate bacon.
Yeah, it's very heavy-handed usually. Yeah.
Konos are bacon.
It's not like the jamon chips here. Those things are like, it's like you're licking a leg. It's really intense. Mm. Yeah. Oh,
fascinating.
Wow, okay. Well, we're learning something new. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you want to hear about Italian class?
I do. I live for these updates.
I cannot believe the class we just had. Can you, I'm going to play teacher here. Can you summarize for the class what we know so far about Italian avanzato?
Sì, certo. Okay. You're the youngest person in there. And it's this old crew. There's some really eccentric people. There's an old guy with a cane who tried to kill you, but now he likes you because you've both bonded over hating some newcomer that is best friends with a person who can't speak Italian, who should not be in this class.
No, we hate the woman who can't speak Italian. We don't really hate the newcomer.
Oh, okay. So we hate the woman who can't speak Italian.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were out to get you the first week because you were late and you were young and youthful and you speak Italian well.
I was like a minute late and I wasn't even the last person.
Okay, but you were late.
Yes.
They're old. Right, they were probably there 4 hours early.
Fair. So. All right. So that is a good summary of what's been going on so far. My arch nemesis, Cane Man, who I found out his name is Andreas.
Okay.
No,
Andreas.
I lied. His name is Andres. Sorry.
Andres.
Yes, I was getting that confused with like the Italian name the teacher sometimes accidentally calls him, which in Spanish is a female name, but not important. So, third class, there has been a line drawn in the metaphorical proverbial sand of Italian class. All right. We got our exams back. Do you want to guess what note I got out of 50?
50.
No. I got like a 41 and a half.
Oh, okay.
No. But it was, I think it was the highest grade in the class. Just want to throw that out there. And Celia, who, as we know, apparently cannot speak a lick of Italian, got like 23 points or something, like really bad. She got less than half. So we're having class. Once again, she's asking like we're reviewing like the present tense of like irregular verbs, like to go, to have, just to like say them quickly. And she like can't keep up. Her and her friend, who's the newcomer, right? Christina. And so the way it's kind of set up today, with both Jose's are not there. It's just like there's 5 students, right? So newbie, Celia, who's the dum-dum, Charo, who we know as my icon and forever queen, Andres, who's previously known as Cane Man, previously known as my arch nemesis, and moi. So I've noticed there's like a line being drawn in the sand halfway through class where Charo is only looking at like Andres and I to like kind of like make jokes and like be like, wow, that's a crazy word, or like ask questions, or clarifications. And I'm like, okay. And Celia, Dum Dum, and her newcomer friend, Cristina, are kind of like doing their own thing, which is mostly just asking what for like dodo birds and like Ice Age for ages, it seems. And I'm starting to pick up on this to the point where Andres has now started to like mumble his discontent in Spanish under his breath towards me. And I'm like, oh, this is very interesting. I'm going to keep my eyes and ears peeled to this a little bit more and see what's going on. The class ends where we are reviewing the written part of the exam. So the teacher's kind of being like, oh, like if you have any questions, like I'll come one-on-one and like talk about your writing portion. And so he like talks to Cristina about something, he talks to me about something, and then he's talking to Andres about something. In that moment, the class basically is finished. It's like 2:00 time to go. Charo wants to talk to me about a book that she's recommending me. And Cristina and Celia both leave. And as soon as they leave, I start noticing that Andres is no longer talking in Italian, which Andres does not do in class. He only talks in Italian. He's talking in Spanish. And I'm noticing that he's talking about something that really is of interest to me and really sort of clarifying things, shedding light. And it turns out that I'm not the only person who thinks that Celia is a dumbass, because apparently Andres is complaining to the teacher about how we can't actually learn anything as a class because she is so dumb. And I was like, whoa, I didn't realize you were going to be verbal about it. And to which Charo, who just finished recommending me a book about an American girl who moves to Sevilla to write a thesis, and she said it's a very funny story. I thought, okay, sure, I guess I'll add this to my Goodreads. Not that she knows what that is. And Charo chimes in and she goes, oh, I already told the teacher. I already told you about this after the first class. And I was like, after the first class? Why did nobody clue me in on this before?
Because they didn't like you in the first class. And also, they don't have time to mess around. Old people have no filters. You know this. Like, they'll just say
old
whatever.
People have no filters. So imagine a Spanish old person, double no filter, right? Like, not even the concept of a filter even enters through their thick skulls, right? So I'm about to walk out the door and whoop, spin right on my heels to turn around and just stand and just like listen and be like, CC, Because I'm like, oh, if there's going to be two sides to this little war, I'm going to be on the correct side, right? Because, there's two sides to every story, but someone's clearly wrong here, and that's Celia, because the teacher then said, I can't make her leave. She pays. Which I was like, that's completely fair. We all pay to be here. Technically, it's up to our own discretion to realize I'm either not helping out the entire class or this is too difficult for me or blah, 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 blah. But she's so like, what's like, I'm going to say Taurus. I don't know if she's a Taurus, but like bull in the, sort of like, I'm not. Shop? No, like kind of like I'm not moving from my position, because he said to her before class today, Celia, you did less than half of the points. You really should get, I think he said everyone should have gotten at least like a 30 something to be like in the class, but he's not like, you can't kick anybody out. It's just sort of like that's like a good recommendation.
She's hard-headed. That's what you're trying to say.
Hard-headed. Yeah. She's taking a stance, and she was like, oh, okay, that's good to know. And he was like, you should maybe consider, dropping down a level or something because I'm not going to baby things for you. Like, this is an advanced class. Right. And she was just like, oh, okay, yeah. Something like that. So I don't know if she's going to be there next week. And even Andres was like he kept being like, I want her to leave. And Chada was like, she needs to leave. And I was like, CC. And he was like, I can't do anything. So they were like, we'll write emails to like the head of the thing or blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh my God, a letter writing campaign.
Wow.
It's wild. I was gooped. I was so gooped. And then afterwards I was talking to Chada and I was like, I had no idea that everyone felt the same way. I thought it was just me. And Chada was like, no. She is ridiculous. And I was like,
wow.
Love. This is the best decision I've ever made in my life is to take this course.
Look at you becoming best friends with Charo and Andres, and you guys are gonna like have a night out on the town, aka a 4 p.m. supper before you leave.
Please. These Spanish people can stay out longer than we can. But yeah, no, valid. Yeah. So I'm not going to be in class next week, which is killing me, only for the fact that I need to know if she's going to show up next week. And I need to know if anything's going to be said to her. Because I guarantee you there's going to be a confrontation soon. It's getting to that point.
Why aren't you going to be in class?
I'm going to be in London.
Oh my God. Did you tell them like, oh my gosh, I have to miss next week, but please keep me updated? Do you have, what are their emails?
I said I won't be here next week.
How were you going to like keep in touch with them?
In what regard?
You needed to exchange information so that they can give you an update.
We're in a WhatsApp group.
Oh, love.
Yeah, there's a WhatsApp group for the class. Yeah.
Okay, but then
would you like to see the picture that Pierluigi put on the WhatsApp group?
Yes, show me.
Hold on, let me pull it up. Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll know if Thalia leaves the WhatsApp group.
Oh yeah, but do you think she would stay in the group that way no one can talk about her?
No. What I really think is that she's not going to want to leave. This is the Italiano. I was like, oh yeah, someone's definitely in their 30s putting this on me. Like,
keep calm and learn Italian.
So anyway, that was my update. It's really like, it's so interesting being in class outside of the Italian aspect.
Mm-hmm. I love this. This is so proper. I'm here for it. So let's take a little break and then we'll come back and we'll get into soups.
Yes.
Surprise. Hello, everyone. Alyson here. Just wanted to say that we want to hear from you. So send us a message at 202-630-4509 or email us at amessagefrompod@gmail.com. Also, don't forget to rate and review and check out amfpod.com for bonus content. Now back to the show.
Welcome back from the break. We are here to talk about soup. Let's get into it. A message from Stacy. She said, hi, y'all. As we're making our way through fall and into winter, it's time for soup. What's on y'all's soup agenda? New recipes, old favorites. Much love, Stacy. Thank you, Stacy.
Truly, thank you.
Alyson is really excited about this.
It's so funny because, like, I am super excited about this, but...
So are you super excited?
I'm super...
Kill myself. I hate that.
You did that to yourself. I didn't even think about it. I am super excited about this. But I'm like, I don't make a lot of soup. I don't make soup very often. No.
You're always talking to me about soup.
I don't make a lot of soup, but I have found that, like, I love to buy a soup when I'm out.
Oh, I thought this was all about making soup. I thought that's why you were so hype about this.
Well...
Yours is about ingesting soup.
This is about ingesting soup, but no.
Okay.
So I usually make soup like once, maybe twice a year.
Only once or twice? I'm so shocked. I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were out here like souping it up.
No, I make it once or twice a year, but I do love soup.
I'm so gagged.
I'm trying to think of
I'm so gagged.
My mom just made an orzo and spinach soup when I was there last week. Very good.
Ooh.
Yeah. She makes that.
Wow.
I also have that every year because she makes that probably a couple times a year. So.
Right. Famously, you're all in Michigan a lot, so it's bound to happen at the same time.
Coincide?
Coincide. I was like, collide? And I was like, that's all right.
You're almost there.
I'm never really almost there.
No. I was trying to be nice for once in my life.
It's very real here on the pod.
Okay. So here's what I want to do. I'm going to tell you my top tier soups.
Okay.
And then you can weigh in on that. And then what are your top tier soups?
But my question for you is, are these top tier in terms of like a ranking, or these are just all lumped together?
Lumped together.
Cool. All right. Let's hit me with the first one on the list.
Lentil soup. Love lentil soup.
Really decided to trigger me.
It's so good. Have you had lentil soup? It's so good. Particularly when it comes from like a Lebanese place or another. So good. I know you've famously eaten a lot of lentils, but did you make lentil soup, or were you just eating the lentils?
I mean, 6 months of lentils, you pretty much run the gambit of every form. I do like lentil soup, but obviously we know it's a fraught relationship with me because I've eaten them so much. And then I moved to Madrid where lentils are like huge in cuisine. I actually have some lentils in the fridge right now. I do like, it's not like, I don't know, if I had to go like love to eat, definitely like to eat, and like, no, it's in like to eat.
Oh, okay. I put tomato soup in like to eat because you have to have it with grilled cheese or like bread or so. You can't I would never just eat tomato soup.
No, I'm not a child.
So it's like,
yeah, you
need something with it.
Also, if you're not putting like some sort of milk or like cream into your tomato soup to make it like a bisque, grow up. It's so easy. You're heating it up anyway.
True.
That one for me is like low range of mid. So yeah.
Yeah. My another top tier is butternut squash soup.
Divine. Love.
So good. It's so good.
So good.
You can jazz it up if you want. You can not jazz it up if you want. It's good.
Yes. I last year made it a lot with these like type of homemade potato dumplings that are like Polish, that are like made with like, it's really finely grated potato.
What are they called?
That is, I don't remember. Like they're like they're dumplings. They're called.
I know I've heard of them before.
But it's like you don't actually use like flour. You just use the starch from the potato. So you have to like drain that, and like it's really very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you just sort of like, boil and put them in. They were good. But they ate them specifically with that butternut squash for some reason because it was like a recipe.
Yeah, that sounds good.
It's a goodie.
So this one, I mean, I went back and forth, but I'm like, it's soup. It's technically soup, right? Pho.
Yeah, but then that also, if pho is soup, then ramen is soup.
Yeah, well, that's what I also was thinking too. Like, first ramen didn't occur to me, but then I'm like, but it is soup. Like, when you get a bowl of ramen, unless you get the kind where it's just supposed to be the noodles, but like usually when you get a bowl of ramen, there's broth, and it's like, I'm like, that's a soup, right?
I am not an expert in those situations. I would say yes, but if someone explained to me why it wasn't, I would fully understand. Like I could see it not being a soup at the same time.
Like I think it is, but yeah, I also think you could argue that it's not a soup in the sense that we're talking about soup. But whatever, I love pho.
Pho is amazing.
It's so good.
It's so fucking good. It's so fucking good. I'm really funny today.
You're on it with the puns. And then lastly, avgolemino, like the Greek lemon soup. Again, another one
never
that's
heard
like,
of that in my life.
What? Usually has chicken in it. So like, my mind is blown that you of all people have not heard of this because it's lemon.
It's true, and it's Greek too.
Lemony
really
goodness. You need to get some.
It?
I think you would love it. It's called avgolemino.
And what is in it? Well, lemons.
Lemons. Sometimes, like usually there's rice in it. Usually there's chicken in it. Seasonings, broth. all that jazz.
What kind of seasoning?
I don't know.
Okay. Sounds good. I guess. I'm going to have to try it. Now that I've heard of it, I'll see it everywhere.
Yeah, that always happens. As soon as you hear about it, you'll see it everywhere. But
there's a word for that, but I forget what it's called. Of course.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
So when I was thinking about the pho, it got me thinking about something else too. And I'm like, does this even count as a soup?
Here we go again.
Yeah. Tortellini in brodo. Like, does that count? Because it's in broth, but like you're there for the tortellini.
It's not soup. It's pasta and broth. Like I don't know how to explain that other than what I just said.
It's pasta and broth.
Oh my God, I have to sneeze. Sorry.
I mean, that's
Continue. I don't think I'm going to sneeze.
That's literally like the literal translation, pasta and broth. I'm like,
no, yeah, exactly. Right.
I eat it with a soup spoon.
Oh yeah, you eat it with because there's liquid in it. But I really don't know that you could, I really don't think you consider that soup. But then I guess if that's not considered soup, then ramen and pho wouldn't be considered soup.
Exactly, because it's
so I don't think they're soups.
In broth.
So they're not soups. What is a soup? I can't believe we had to come down to this.
What is
soup?
But I feel like you can't say pho and ramen are not soups. But maybe they aren't.
You really can't say tortellini and broth is soup.
I need someone to weigh in who knows more about this than us. But anyway,
I know.
Set this what is a soup argument aside.
Okay. I mean, tortellini and broth is great.
Bottom tier.
Oh.
Like
no-go soup.
No-go soup. Oh. Chowder. Any sort of chowder.
Here's the thing.
Awful.
I haven't ever had chowder where you're supposed to have chowder. So I could be completely swayed to be like pro chowder, but I've never had it.
We've never been to Boston. We never had the chowder in Boston.
Never been to Boston at the chowder. No. And isn't there something in Maryland? Isn't there some sort of chowder down there too? No? Or is it just seafood I'm thinking of?
Is there like a crab soup?
I don't know.
There's crab everything here, but I mean, I've never had.
I just thought maybe because of the crab, but maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe. Usually it's clam chowder or like
corn chowder a thing?
Corn chowder, I think so. Ew, that reminds me, cream of mushroom soup. When people use that, it's like Midwest American cooking.
Yeah.
And here's
but it
where
does make food good.
Here's where I'm going to contradict myself is that I freaking love a green bean casserole, and I know
which is
that
famously
cream of mushroom soup is used in that. But when you see it come out of the can, it makes me want to die. It literally makes me want to die.
Yeah, no, it's foul. It's gross. It's foul. Especially because it's congealed. It's like cold. Yeah, it's gross.
I'm like picturing it in my head and having like war flashbacks.
So are there any other top tier or like bottom tier soups for you? Any more soups for me to weigh in on?
So this is a hot take. I don't know.
As if your chowder one wasn't a hot take.
Well, yeah, that'll get some hate for sure. But I put minestrone in bottom tier, which you would think is shocking coming from me because it's all veg. But I'm just like...
Yeah. What about... I mean, what do you hate about it?
I don't hate anything about it, but if you were like, let's have some soup, I would never be like, yeah, let's get some minestrone.
I mean, to be fair, I'm never eating minestrone unless I'm in an Italian restaurant.
True.
You know, and I'm getting like a soup and salad app, you know? Mm-hmm. But then again, I'm having Italian wedding soup if it's on the menu. Again,
another contradiction because I don't eat meat anymore, but Italian wedding soup.
The tits. Amazing.
It's so good.
You know where it's also good? And this is not controversial because if anybody tells me I'm wrong, they're wrong. The Olive Garden in Pittsburgh. In the Pittsburgh area.
They have Italian wedding soup at Olive Garden.
It's not on the menu and it's only served at Olive Gardens in Pittsburgh.
Okay, because I was like, I've never seen that on the menu. It's so funny. Like, the only thing that Olive Garden is good for is their soup, salad, and breadsticks. Look,
If you put me in a coffin of those breadsticks, I'd come back to life to eat it.
Their Italian food is trash, okay? It's not good. Like the majority of Italian food in America. It's just not traditional, which like whatever is something to be said about taking what you have and using it to inspire dishes, whatever. We're not going to get into that.
Apparently. Okay.
That salad, the dressing, the breadsticks are so good. The breadsticks are so freaking salty. Like
it's like being a deer and licking a salt block in someone's backyard.
Sure. And it's so good.
It's so fucking good. If I was ever in one of those kitchens and had to see how any of that stuff was made, I'd become a hermit. I would become a hermit and never into no more society, no more of that. And I'd eat mushrooms on the side of trees, but I don't. So I get to enjoy it. It's great.
I think we've realized that when you get back here, we're going we're going to Olive Garden together.
Well, here's a one-up you. Next time you drive to Michigan and stop in Pittsburgh, we go to Olive Garden and we get the Italian wedding soup.
And the breadsticks. Okay, done deal.
Well, yeah, the breadsticks and the salad, yeah.
Done deal.
Okay, sounds good. Anything else going on in your...
I think I've covered, like, all the soups. I made a really good wild rice soup. Oh, it was lovely, but I made way too much, and then I was just, like...
Freeze it.
I did. I froze a lot of it, and I was still eating a lot of wild rice soup.
Yikes. So. Well, you said you love to ingest the soup.
I do love to ingest the soup.
I'm trying to think, like, you did cover, like, quite a bit of soups. I'm trying to think if there's any soups that, like, we haven't really... Oh, you know what? I should write this down as something I should do before I leave Madrid. Cocido is this, like, iconic soup here that's, like, very, very Madrid, like, Madrid cuisine. We used to have it every other Thursday at the first school I worked at. And it is just, like, a type of broth. I'm not really sure, like, what kind of broth it is. But it has, like... tiny noodles, tiny little noodles in it.
Like
and then it has
pastina or like different.
Like something you'd get in like a packet.
You don't know what pastina is?
I don't know her. No. Who's that? What's that?
Pastina is like when you're sick, when you're a kid, and your parents make you soup. It's like it's pastina. It's the tiny little noodles that kind of look like stars.
Oh, I know what that is. No. They're like long, but they would be in like one of those types of soup packets, you know, like put into water, boil for like 10 minutes. Yeah. But they're like kind of short. So it's that kind of noodles, at least at the school I was eating it at. And it is like, then everything under the fucking sun goes into this thing. I'm talking chorizo, pork, literal lard, chunks of lard, chickpeas, carrots, like, blood sausage. What is that called? Morcilla. Like everything goes into it to the point where like, I mean, I got very good at a very specific order because you would just walk down the line at this cafeteria and be like, yes, no, yes, very fast. But like, it's wild. These kids be like, yes, give me the lard. And I'm like, gross. So gross. I got so sick of it because I had it for an entire school year every 2 weeks, you know, that I haven't had it since. But I feel like I should have it before I go.
I feel like you could eat it before you left and you wouldn't need to eat again for a month. Yeah.
What was nice about the school is everything was cut up into little bits, so it was like easier to eat. But sometimes you get it and it's like, you know, little sausage. And it's like, I got to cut and all that liquid? No. You got to be kidding me.
That's the worst part when you're eating soup and the broth is flying everywhere.
Oh my
and you're
God,
like,
everywhere.
What am I, a 2-year-old?
Yeah. You know what you didn't say? And I'm quite shocked, or as I should say, shocked. French onion soup.
Oh my God. You know what? I didn't even think of French onion soup. Oh, it's so good.
Clearly. Yeah.
It's very good.
Very good. Makes me shit my pants.
Oh, really?
Well, it's like it's onion. It's so much onion,
but it's so good.
It's so good. Have you ever made it?
No.
Oh, it is like an insane amount of onions when you make it. I mean, obviously know because you eat it, right? But it's like you're sitting there cutting and crying and you're like, wow, I can't believe I have to cut another 14 onions.
You know what this reminds me of? Okay, this is again, probably doesn't count as a soup, but I used to make this Thai noodle soup It was like a Thai coconut, spicy coconut noodle soup.
Oh, yummy.
I used to make this all the time. It was so good. But again,
Maybe you
it's
should
like,
make it.
it's the same kind of stuff as like pho. Like, I call it soup. It's called soup, but is it soup? Because it would have like the vermicelli noodles, bok choy, red onion, lime, coconut milk. What else was in it? I don't even remember. I used to make this stuff all the time. It's so good.
It sounds very good. It sounds very, very good.
Easy to make.
I'm trying
too.
to think like, what soup should I make next? What soup am I going to make next?
I feel like I was going to like do butternut squash because 'tis the season, you know? A squash soup would be ideal.
Yeah. I just don't want to buy. I just don't want to have to prepare the squash.
I found at Trader Joe's a couple weeks ago honey nut squash, which I had never heard of before. It's butternut squash, but it's like miniature. It was baby. It was the perfect portion. I cut her in half. I slapped her down. I baked her, and it was the perfect portion for like one person. And because it was so small, it wasn't like so hard to saw into, you know?
Oh, yeah. I've definitely like gotten a knife stuck in one and just been like on the counter.
Yeah,
like,
right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
I don't see the other thing about it is I don't have like an immersion blender at this apartment now. So like if I want to really make a soup that needs to be like, potato leek soup.
Oh my gosh, so good.
Which that's what I made recently and it was so good, but I had to wait for it to cool down so that I could put it in my food processor and like blend it because it was
I was
like
gonna say
hot.
otherwise it'll explode.
Yeah.
My
and
blender,
also it's like in batches too, which is so annoying.
Yeah. So when I do that, because I don't have an immersion blender.
You should buy. They're so cheap.
I know. But I have like my food processor.
Now look who's bad at English today. Both of us.
It is she. So I have a Ninja, right? So the base, you can use it for the food processor, the dough mixer, there's the blender, and then there's like the single size drink one as well. So, but the blender on the lid has a little door that you can pop open. So I like to use that because you can let the steam out, but like it's small enough that you don't have soup splashing everywhere.
Okay, that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Very nice, actually. All right, well,
that's all we have about soups.
Yeah, I'm not surprised we could talk this long about soup, but kind of.
We could talk longer about soups, but we will spare you all. So if you would like to send us a message about anything, soups included, give us a call at 202-630-4509, or you can send us an email at amessagefrompod@gmail.com. Send us a DM. We are at a message from on Instagram and TikTok, a message from _ on Twitter. And don't forget to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Find us on YouTube. We're on there as well. And we will talk to you next time. Bye.
Bye.